Today is Wednesday the 18th and I am in Pomona. I'm just heading down to the Lowry. Pomona's a pretty special place, even now as it gets slowly built on. But to some extent it's still public space, a common ground, green space. The only wild space left in the city. Sort of edgelands between Manchester and Salford. Liminal space, creepy space, inspiring space. It's definitely worth a mooch. And for me, it's my route from the city to the Lowry, to that space that's become its own sort of outlier hub. And we're going to see a couple of shows in the Sick Festival tonight and tomorrow night. So I thought I'd tell you about them. Obviously I won't be able to show you much of them, anything of them, because there's this weird thing that you're not allowed to take videos inside shows, which seems incredibly, well, I don't really understand it, but there we go. I sort of see some reasons, I guess, but you won't be able to get a sample of the shows. There are, I think, trailers and things maybe, so I might be able to link those below. I'll see. I might do a sort of written blog about the shows as well, in a bit more of an academic setting, and you can have a gander at that in due course. But tonight we're seeing Ursula Martinez show about her family, or her relationship with her family, and a show that is now 20 years old but revisited 20 years on. So very different sort of dynamics and how you, I guess, come to terms with those changes, what that means for you and your relationships and things. So yeah, so I will enjoy that. It's late, 8:30 start, which just seems mental. Hope I can get home afterwards. And yeah, so I'll let you know, try and video tonight what my initial thoughts, and then I'll try and work out what I'm seeing tomorrow, which I've booked for but now can't remember. So yeah, hope you enjoy the ride. Hi there, so it's the day after. We saw Ursula Martinez yesterday at the Lowry, which you probably can't see over there. But yeah, we're going back again tonight for some dance piece, Candoco, I think they're called. Yeah, the Ursula Martinez was an interesting piece. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was quite moving in places, but it was also a bit odd in other places. It was actually not so much about the relationship between her and her family, but more about the relationship between her and truth. So it was quite fictionalised. There was a video of the production from 20 years ago playing in the background. They tried to mirror it, she tried to mirror it to a certain extent, and the juxtaposition of that, and when she could mirror it and when she couldn't mirror it. And there were some amazing moments of when her mother had performed a dance to I Will Survive, and then her mother, 20 years older, performed the dance in front, which was really interesting and really moving. And there was some amazing comedy moments of memory and investigating that. But then it became a bit ambiguous as to whether it was true or not, whether the person on stage with her was actually her mother. I never doubted for a minute that she was the same woman who was in the video, but I wasn't sure sometimes whether it was actually her mother, so that was interesting. Yeah, a bit complicated in terms of, you know, what you really genuinely felt, but those moments when you did have a genuine feeling of emotion or humour were really on the nose. Tonight we start, I think, at 7 o'clock, so hopefully it'll be an earlier night, and I'll hopefully be able to finish vlogging tonight. And we've got emergency on Saturday, so I might include that in this on the end, my thoughts on that. And I won't be able to take much in the way of imagery potentially, but we'll see. So yeah, I'll let you know how tonight goes, because I really don't know anything about what we're seeing, and yeah, and what my thoughts were on it. So see you probably maybe later. We'll see. So today we're in Hume, heading to NIMOS, which I've not been to before, for Emergency, which I have been to before, regular showcase for experimental performance art, live art type stuff. It's normally good fun, but we'll see what we think. Kandoko, I really enjoyed. It was so funny. I've not laughed that hard in a long, long time. I sat right in the front row, Ollie and Jordan from the course, and I don't know, it was really charming. It was thin, and I think some of the other people who were sat further back had criticisms about they wanted more depth, they wanted more, I don't know, profundity, insights. I'm not quite sure exactly. It's one of those things where you don't know until you've seen it, I guess, but this show didn't have it for them. But it was, I didn't want any more of that. It was just funny, and the jokes were my sort of jokes. So there's an interesting thing about laughter. I have this idea that if you genuinely laugh, then that is genuinely funny for you, and that you can't fake that or lie about that. There's something in that I think is interesting. I just found it funny, and even reflecting back, thinking some of the jokes were a bit corny or a bit obvious maybe, but I just relaxed and enjoyed it. Yeah, it didn't leave me thinking anything particularly profound. The post-show talk was a bit knotty, shall we say. You know, if you're going to have a post-show talk, then people need to be chatty, and it felt a little bit like dragging blood from a stone sometimes. But what was said was interesting, and what was also interesting was some of the characters from the performers that was on display in the talk wasn't evident in the show. Considering the show was constructed around the characters of the personalities of the performers, that disjoint was a bit obvious, and I think certainly a few people felt that. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was good fun. I definitely recommend it. It's short, about 20 minutes, half an hour. You know, burst of laughter. What more can I say? Enjoyed it. So, not sure what to expect from it. It's probably best off not to expect anything from Emergency, because it can always catch you a bit by surprise. I applied for Emergency this year and I didn't get it because my piece was considered too academic, and they weren't sure what the audience would get from it. And that sort of concerned me slightly, because the sort of work I want to see is work that is informed by the research, and isn't performers going, this is what I want the audience to think. Did read John McGrath's book last night, which critiques that a little bit, so I'm going to have to do some thinking about that, and some interesting ideas around what the point of the performance and the performer is, which I have to investigate. But yeah, there are possibly 30, possibly 50 pieces of work on today. I don't know how long I'm going to stick around for. I'm not going to get there till it's already started. It kicks off at 12, so I'm just having a quick drink now. The awesome Kim by the Sea, which if you're in Hume you should definitely frequent often. I'm going to be doing a show just next door in November at the Yard, and we're going to utilise the services of Kim by the Sea for that, so keep your eyes open for that. That'll be interesting. And yeah, I don't know, I might be able to film bits of Emergency, because it's sort of a bit more of an informal type gathering than is usual at theatre. I should at least be able to maybe capture some of the atmosphere, which is always good, and NIMOS is a new space for Emergency and for me, and sort of for Manchester, so it would be really nice to see that and see how that feels. So take it along for the ride, see what you think. So yeah, this is Nymos and Emergency, which is a sort of full day of performance art and people trying to be astonishing. I'm slightly bored by the work, to be honest, though that might be me. Also, I think the building is just incredible. This is the old Hume Hippodrome, which I've always wanted to get into and never been able to before, and it's just astonishing. So I think that's sort of slightly overwhelmed, I think, some of the work that's gone on. But anyway, I'm going to carry on having a gander around. I might go for a bite to eat at Kim by the Sea in a bit, but carry on at Z Arts tonight. So yeah, and I'll probably do some writing or something about what the rest of it was about. But yeah, I'll show you some clips and yeah, see what you think yourself. You should come down, make the most of it. See you about.
A little Singapore stir fry, you know what I mean? Thank you. God, you sound sexy. Such a shame I can't deliver to you.